Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Devin Haney must win or retire. At least that's how I see it. Now, Haney, who's 30-0 and 15 knockouts, 50% KO ratio. Some people say he's pillow-fisted, but to get 15, to have a 50% KO ratio, that means there's something about your hands. He's not, Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? But he's coming off the biggest victory of his career, where he got a unanimous decision victory over Vasily Lomachenko in defense of his undisputed titles in May. Now, I'm going to tell you this. He may have just turned 25, but Devin Haney has routinely challenged himself against the best boxing has to offer. Now, I still think he deserves to be, lauded for traveling to Australia. Matter of fact, he did that twice to clip George Kambosos, who many people thought Kambosos was going to be able to beat Devin Haney. And if not man-to-man, he's going to have the judges in his back pocket where the judges would have helped him get the decision. That's not the case. Haney, it was such a one-sided beatdown in the first and second fight that the judges had no choice but to give him the win. As a result, Haney made his way up the pound-for-pound rankings, but some people still won't rank him as top 10 pound-for-pound, which I just think is a foul. But he's been able to secure another world title fight against one of the best 140-pounders in the world at such a young age, and that guy is Regis Prograis. But I'm going to tell you right now, Regis Prograis and everything that he went through in his last fight, there are some people who feel that, overnight you can get old. And some people feel that Regis Prograis got old overnight in there with Zorrilla. There's still people to this day, if you ask them about that fight, they feel that he should have knocked out Zorrilla. They feel that he should have stopped Zorrilla. But I'm going to tell you this. Those were his intentions. But then the real deal started in the first round where he felt that Puerto Rican power, and he got hit and hurt, and Regis just wasn't trying to run in there anymore and knock anybody out. He was afraid of getting hit. Plus, throughout that fight, when Zorrilla wanted to, he let his hands go, and he was touching Regis. So Regis, when I look at Regis now, he's got a chance to win this fight. But if Devin Haney keeps it simple and works behind that jab, I just think Regis Prograis has no chance of winning at all, especially when we talk about the things I mentioned already. Regis having a 67-inch reach, and Devin Haney's reach being 71 inches. But Regis isn't here to watch a coronation. Regis Prograis, 29 wins, 1 loss to Josh Taylor. That Josh Taylor that he fought was an absolute monster. That Josh Taylor is not the same Josh Taylor, but we have to see, at least at 140 he wasn't. But we'll see how Josh Taylor looks as he bubbles up to 147. But Regis Prograis, 29 of his wins, he has have come by KO, which 24. He has 24 KOs out of his 29 wins, and a lot of people feel he's been one of boxing's best kept secrets over the past few years. What's sad is after he lost that fight against Josh Taylor, he seemed to have kind of fallen off a little bit. But the former super lightweight champion, he's not ready to sit here and call it quits. And he learned from what happened when he fought Josh Taylor in 2019. But the problem is he gets some pretty good knockouts. His performances, some people feel are stellar. Some people feel that he could be better. But the bottom line is he's always been able to get the job done. But my thing with Regis Prograis is he's 34 years old. And that's why I say when you talk about fighters getting old overnight in the ring, at 34 going on 35, and someone who started late in boxing, you just don't know if maybe he's kind of phasing out of his prime now. But nonetheless, when you can punch the way Regis Prograis can punch, he still has a chance to get in there with Devin Haney and land something big. And if you listen to Regis, that's his plan, to knock him out, to fight him. Although he's saying he's going to show that he has more skill than Devin, to that I got to say, hold your horses, Regis. Let's not take it to the stupid. He's not matching Devin Haney skill for skill. But I do think that he's matching Devin Haney as far as having balls to get in the ring with back-to-back opponents who gave him a hard time, could give him a hard time. Because you look at Regis Prograis coming after that Zorrilla fight in his last outing, and to go in there with Devin Haney, another guy who's tall, who's long, who can jab, who can hit him from basically, standing across the ring. I think it needs to be lauded. But what I will say is this, man. Although his last fight wasn't up to standard, Prograis, in my opinion, is looking to prove that, he is elite. And some people are saying, well, damn, if Devin Haney's not being recognized as top 10 pound for pound, how can Regis sit there and want to take credit for getting a win over Devin Haney? Well, I'm going to tell you, Devin Haney is still a former undisputed at 135. So if he clips him, he clips a former undisputed. Doesn't matter if you like Devin Haney, if you think he's cartoonish, or whatever you think. The bottom line is Devin Haney is accomplished. Simple. And just like Devin Haney goes by the dream, well, Regis Prograis has a dream. And he seems to be on his way as he continues his remarkable journey in boxing. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, man, Devin Haney, this is the thing. When you look at it, the majority of people are picking Devin Haney to win this fight. So for Regis Prograis, it's if he loses. Regis Prograis just keeps plugging along, okay? Because a lot of people are feeling that he loses. Even when you talk about the odds, Haney is plus 150, and Prograis is. Let me tell you something. Man. When you look at these odds, let me pull this up. I want to make sure I tell you the correct way. Okay, so here it goes. So this is on FanDuel. Devin Haney is now I don't know about betting, so when I read this, please understand, I may not say it the right way. He's a negative 450 favorite. So I guess that means if you bet 100, I don't know, you bet something, but you're not going to make a lot of money betting on Haney. See, I don't know nothing about betting and odds and all that shit. But what I'll tell you is Haney's a negative 450 favorite, while Regis is listed as a plus 310 underdog. So that tells me that I do understand this much. Haney is the favorite. So when you look at it, if Regis loses, I think Regis just keeps plugging along at 140, and I think Regis will still get big fights. If Devin Haney wins, or Devin Haney continues to move up the ladder. But if Devin Haney loses, since he's the favorite, I think Devin Haney, like I said before, he's in no man's land. The word I like to use when these fighters lose and they really have nothing there to fall back on, I call them Nowhereians. They're in no man's land. They're Nowhereians because they have nowhere to go. Devin Haney is a big name. Don't get me wrong. But if he loses to Regis Prograis, like I said in a couple of YouTube shorts, what does he do? You understand? He has no titles anymore. He has nothing. He can't go on 140 and start, dictating things anymore. He's not the money machine anymore. I still don't think I think if he loses, I think everything falls apart for Devin Haney. But so he's got to win. Now someone say, well, then you got to go back to 135, and I think he was made champion in recess for the WBC, so he can fight Tank. Okay, so he goes back to 135. Kills himself to get down to a weight to where he does not want to be. Fights Tank. Tank destroys him. And then what? He gets 2 back-to-back losses. You understand? So there's no way in the world Devin Haney coming off of a loss will go and fight Tank Davis. No way. They're going to look to rebuild him, and they're going to be very smart. And what I'm telling you is something else you need to look at. Bob Arum's gone on record and said, for Devin Haney, this is why I think Regis, if Regis doesn't knock him out, I think Regis loses. I think Devin can outbox him anyway, but even if it's a close fight, I think Regis loses. Because you already got Devin, who's looking to go up to 147. You got Bob Arum, who's looking to take Devin and have him fight Teofimo. That's what Bob Arum said. Okay? Then you got Devin, who may possibly fight Tank. Tank may go up to 140 to fight Devin if Devin has a WBC strap. You understand? So many things open up for Devin Haney if he wins. But if he loses, I just think doors close on him. And he may just go ahead and retire. Because I don't think anybody's going to want to fight him anyway. And plus, the other thing we got to look at. Now, this is a huge factor in just going forward, Devin Haney and trying to be a pay-per-view star. What if, which I think is going to happen, this pay-per-view flops? Now, I'm not trying to wish bad on none of them. I hope both of these guys can make 40, 50 million. I'm rooting for him. To go in the ring and get punched in the face, it's not easy to do. I hope they make gazillions of dollars. However, when you look at what we just had, who just fought on pay-per-view and did like 60,000? David Benavidez and Demetrius Andre. Now, I thought the 77,000 in pay-per-view buys that Deontay Wilder-Helenius did was bad. But David Benavidez and Demetrius Andre did like 60,000 is what's being rumored, right? So as far as all the money Devin Haney and Regis Prograis is going to make, this is how the promoters are protecting themselves these days. They say, hey, look, we're not going to give you guys guarantees. I already did a video on this shit. It's called Paying Fighters on a Pay-Per-View Curve. We're not going to give you this $5 million guarantee each, because now that's $10 million, no matter how the event does, that the promoter has to shut up. They say they may give them each $1 million guarantee, something like that. Here's $2 million, we should be able to make that back off ticket sales. Here, you guys each guaranteed $1 million. And then for pay-per-view sales, this is where we give you whatever percentage. And they run these numbers, say, look, if you do 100,000 buys, this is kind of where it looks like. If you get 400,000 or 500,000 buys, this is kind of what the money looks like. And that money looks really good to these guys. Endorsement deals, everything else, that stuff starts to add up real fast. But if they don't do good with the pay-per-view numbers, the type of money that they think they're going to make, they're just not going to make, because there's no big guarantee. Promoters are scared to do that. And you gotta understand it, because right now, this day and age, man, I mean, most people don't want to pay their money for no damn pay-per-views. There's so many ways to watch it for free now. So many ways. It always cracks me up when you get somebody on here who's like, screw you, Hood Champion. We need to pay our money and support the fighters. Whether it's 100 or 200, they're entertaining us. Oh, shut up, man. You pay that shit. Don't worry about if I pay it or not. I put it to you this way. I paid so much money in the goddamn pay-per-view boxing matches, probably more than what most of y'all have paid. So get the hell out of here. Most people who are talking about pay the money for pay-per-view, they're saying that shit with a Fire Stick remote control in their back pocket. They probably got one in their front and back pocket. Matter of fact, they probably got it in their both front pockets and their back pockets. And one up on the ear like a goddamn pencil. So get the hell out of here with that shit. Y'all do what you want to do. Do what you like. Like Digital Underground said, do what you like. Do what you like. But as far as me, no matter how I watch the fight, I'm going to be watching it. But I do think those guys deserve a lot of money. I really do. I really do. I think they do, man. But it just sucks that right now, man, there's so many ways for us to watch it. Christmas around the corner, too. Y'all bugging, man. That $80, you know how much goddamn shrimp and shit I can buy and cook for my sons? Get the hell out of here. But anyway, Devin Haney, to me, he must win or retire, man. If he loses, Devin Haney's in the breeze. And I truly believe that, man. But Regis Prograis is okay if he loses, in my opinion. He's better off than Devin. Devin loses, I think everything they have in place just falls apart. Falls apart because he has nothing to fall back on. What, his name? A lot of people don't want to fight him right now anyway. So we'll see. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. In the breeze.